Guys, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, especially if you love MMA as much as I do. I did say I was going to make a video on who I think would win out of Francis Ngannou and John Jones if they actually did fight. First of all, I will say I highly doubt that fight's going to happen, and I'll talk about that in a separate video. If these guys fought in the UFC or anywhere with MMA engagements, I would have to lean towards Francis, and just based off of his last few fights on how he fights, his fighting style. I know people like to revert back to the first fight with Stipe. Guys, that was 7 years ago. Okay, and I emphasize his first fight because the second time, the most recent fight, he proved a lot in that fight. He proved he had patience. He proved he was willing to pick his shots and not just blitz through Stipe. Not only that he can take Stipe down and other guys, but he can defend takedowns as well. And he still has that knockout power, and he's willing to wait to put somebody away. He didn't put Stipe away in the first round. He put him away in the second round. And he also showed the ability to recover from getting hit hard. Now, I think personally, right before he knocked out Stipe the way he did, Stipe did hit him really hard. I don't think he played possum when he got hit. He got hit real hard, shook it off, and just got mad and said, "What?" and just hit him. That's how I think it happened. I think he would beat John Jones just because of his fighting style. John Jones is a really high-level grappler. Obviously, he can submit guys. Francis, Dana White and a lot of people have talked about how Francis struggled and took Cyril the distance. Francis had bad knees. He had to have surgery on at least one of them into that fight. He had knee pads on and was still able to ragdoll him and take him down and dominate him. That's part of why that fight went to distance the way it did. And John Jones did finish it, but clearly John Jones had no injuries going into that fight. Everything was perfect for him. Injuries do matter, I'm just saying. John Jones is not going to ragdoll Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou has demonstrated good takedown defense. He's demonstrated the ability to overpower and take guys down. He has demonstrated high-level striking, knockout power, the ability to take punishment and still fight hard. John Jones, I just don't see that. I think what would happen is John Jones would try to grapple and take Francis down. Francis will be able to defend all that. And it would force John Jones to pick him apart and move. That wouldn't work with Francis Ngannou. Francis is very calculated also. I think John Jones would try to hit him with leg kicks, which wouldn't work. I think Francis would actually take John Jones down and put him in a similar position to how he had Stipe in the second fight, and just pick his shots and just dominate with ground and pound. Or, like he did with Cyril, get on top of him, make Cyril carry his weight. He would do the same thing with John Jones. So, John Jones could beat Francis Ngannou. I'm not saying he couldn't, but I think Francis Ngannou would end up beating John Jones. And I just, John Jones is really strong, a lot like Francis Ngannou is really strong, just like John Jones is. He's also got a lot more experience in heavyweight than John Jones. And clearly, Jones has shown with Stipe and Cyril that experience doesn't mean a whole lot to him because he's a high-level fighter. He is. But it does matter because Francis is also a high-level fighter. And he's lost twice in boxing. That was boxing against clearly the best boxers in the world. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua knocked him out. I mean, not Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua knocked him out. In MMA, he has fought since then and has won. I just think Francis Ngannou would just be too much for John Jones. If he was fighting Francis in 2017, 2018, when he would just blitz through people and get tired, yeah, John Jones would eventually wear him out and beat him. Not this version. Just look at how Francis has fought now in MMA. High-level grappling, takedown defense. He's patient. Hits hard. He's willing to go 5 rounds if he needs to. He didn't really look tired when he fought Cyril. He was injured. Again, he had bad knees going into that fight. Took him down and dominated him. And ended up winning. So I don't see why people say Francis can't beat John Jones. He clearly could. I do think... I have said I think Jones was scared to fight Francis. I still think he knows it was a bad matchup. I think he has a better chance of beating Aspinall than he does Francis because Francis hits a lot harder. So with that being said, I think Francis would win. I wouldn't be surprised if he TKO'd John Jones. He would overwhelm him with his takedown defense, taking John Jones down. He would control Jones and wear him out. Because John Jones did look a little slower. He's looked slower at heavyweight. That's a bad thing. So he wouldn't have that advantage over Francis. And he would not have a reach advantage, as Francis has a decent reach too. that pick apart, move away wouldn't work. Francis would eventually mix in his leg kicks of his own, his jabs, fake jabs, and end up taking him down at some point. So Francis, by probably a 4th or 5th round TKO, he would wear out Jon Jones. Jones is tough. He's proven that. But he's never been in there with a guy like Francis who hits hard and has so many skills and is still in his prime. He's not exactly... Actually, I think they're about the same age. So yeah, Francis would eventually get to him and wear him out and get a TKO victory. Taking him down, beating him up to where Jones couldn't defend himself. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.